What's good, everyone, and welcome back to another reaction video. Now this is going to be the full Spamton Sweepstakes. I guess this is the stuff that was being monologue and all that, or parts that we missed and stuff like that. At least that's what I'm theorizing, but then again, it could be wrong. It might be the same thing, just only stuff we didn't see. So, yeah. Hope it's not the same thing. But either way, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit the like button down below. Hit the subscribe button to support the channel, support the content provided, and so on and so forth. Hit the notification button to be notified immediately when a new video comes out. If you have any videos that you want me to watch next, leave it down in the comment section below. I'll react to it as soon as possible. And if you want to see this video all the way through without any interruptions and such, be sure to check out the link below in the description. It's gonna take you to the original video. And if you do this, be sure to give the creators of this video some love and support. Other than that, let's start the video, shall we?
For anyone who missed out on this weekend's Spamton Sweepstakes, it was a wild ride. They clearly just had so much fun making it, even though it gets,
yeah.
it can get a little...
Yeah, fresh, Peepus. Spamton ass!
Your best fuck!
Don't put that in there.
I didn't spend years inside the ring for nothing. Years inside the ring. Years inside the ring. Years.
Spamton ass!
What the frick? Some of this stuff I didn't even see.
Yeah, it gets a little weird sometimes. How's it going, everyone? My name's Graham, and welcome to Two Left Thumbs. Today, I'm doing a video overviewing this weekend's Spamton Sweepstakes. Allow me to catch you up on things, share all the unexpected secrets that were dropped along the way, attempt to explain as much as I can, and lace in some small theories here and there. Mostly, I'm just working to document, organize, and present as much as I can. It was a charity event to celebrate the 1-year release of Deltarune Chapter 2. And as fans quickly determined, there were Easter eggs hidden just absolutely everywhere. And of course, people immediately came asking for me to do a video on it. And when I say people, I mean like 3 of you. But hey, I'm thrilled to be anyone's first thought when something like this comes about. That's so encouraging for me and makes it all the more fun to put together a video like this. Probably my favorite part of the presentation, though, was
Is he trying to act scary? Cause in all honesty, it's doing nothing to me.
For anyone who watched the Spamton Value Network, that has nothing to do with it. That is our first official tease of the game we are working on, Picayune Dreams. Fast-paced, challenging, bullet hell roguelike horde survival gameplay. That's a long string of words that says a heck of a lot, yet also reveals so little about what the game actually is. We can't...
Really? So this is promotion for their new game?
Can't wait to put this one in your guys' hands. There will be a link down below. Please go wishlist it to let Steam know you're interested. And a big shot theme. A little dancing Spamton appears off to the left. which is a reference to this famous little animated baby that people would post on their websites in the 90s. Don't ask me why it exists, but this was like the peak of internet humor at the time. The actual original sweepstakes links have been taken down. They were run through Fangamer, but I believe that everything has been transferred over to deltarune.com, so it should be properly archived in case anyone wants to go check it out for themselves, but there's no guarantees that'll persist. As an example, part of the description on the shirt prize is now missing. I feel like a few things might have just gotten messed up transferring them over to a different website, so who knows, maybe some of that will get added back in. But in the off chance that doesn't happen, it feels all the more important to record it, document, and archive this stuff. About Spamton. It's me, the #1 greatest salesman, Spamton G. Spamton. You may know me from everything, which I think is meant to be a little bit of a joke playing off Troy McClure from The Simpsons.
Hi, I'm Troy McClure. You may remember me from such nature films as Earwigs, Ooh, and Man vs. Nature, The Road to Victory.
Which himself is just parodying the way that TV personalities used to introduce themselves. So it's hard to say it's for sure a reference, but I wanted to point it out. And now, I'm only getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I've never gotten smaller. I've never gotten smaller. Hidden in the descriptions of...
That is weirdly phrased. It also sounds really creepy.
of many of these prizes are random links to secret pages. Several of these links take us to a blog. I'll have a dedicated section later in the video where I look through all those, so I'll skip over sharing how to get to them for now. Checking out the toilet paper prize and the yourself links us to /sighting. Sighting 1997. During this sighting...
Really? 1997? Okay, are they trying to make lore related to Spamton now? I mean, it would be an interesting thing to go about, but I don't know if it would be a popular thing.
Section,
That is
Digital
fair.
Roots, a track from Chapter 2 plays in the background as it zooms into Spamton on a toilet. Clicking it changes it to a slightly different angle, again zooming in randomly on Spamton sitting on this toilet. If you inspect the toilet paper more directly, Blue Bubble Rodeo is printed onto it. Maybe Blue Bubble is another Peepus, I don't know. Blue Bubble Rodeo is a real link. We're told to get ready for 2 minutes of mildly entertaining shootout action. Chris and Susie are both standing there in these little cowboy outfits. Clicking either character plays this whip sound effect. Following the link of the champ, it takes us to /dog. It is described at the top as being the Hall of Fame. Although there's only one thing here. There is an empty frame and a plaque underneath. Clicking these brings in the annoying dog and simply states Best Inu, with Inu being Japanese for dog. And this Inu receives quite a bit of fanfare with a little theme song playing behind it. Cute Little Guys links us to /Lancer. At the top reading, You're the Annoying Now Dog, which is both in reference to Undertale and Deltarune's own annoying dog, Toby Fox's self-insert character, and also referencing the old popular website filled with early viral memes, YTMND, standing for You're the Man Now, Dog, which was named after one of the first things posted on the website. That's basically all this ever was. Some sort of repeating image, some crappy clip art style text, and one looping bit of audio. Yet there are things on.
That is a weird thing to be dedicated to. Why do it like that? And why use that kind of joke?
On this website that I still find.
I don't get how this joke's funny, to be honest. Just seems weird.
Funnier than almost anything else you could possibly show me. And when clicking on Little Lancer here,
so.
the reference becomes much more overt. Ho ho ho! You just got Lancered. From the Ralsei nurse doll, the Fluff sells Link.
Okay, the Lancer thing, that was... I don't know. I'm pretty sure he aced it. Yeah, that was pretty bad, I'll admit. I'm not full of spades of jokes. I really need to stop doing bad puns. But I like them.
Takes us to /Shadowmen. Although it still says You're the Annoying Now Dog. We can see Chris, Susie, and Ralsei are all dressed up kind of like these 1920s era mafia people.
Now that he mentions it, I kinda do. Well, Susie and Chris does. Ralsei, not so much.
Although Ralsei seems to be a little bit more fashionable with the scarf. These Shadowmen are wearing socks, and when we blast them away, we knock their socks off. One of them shoots these like jazz notes at us, while the other one fires away with a Tommy gun, other things that I think are supposed to evoke that sort of 1920s era. So seemingly, we're simply being shown a tease of an upcoming fight in a future chapter. The scrap heap link takes us to /RAM. We don't really know what RAMB is. It could be something AM broadcasting. It's very likely to be TV related.
I don't get where the R. Oh, RAM. The R is for the lower. Okay. I thought he was just forgetting a word or something. No, he was talking about something else. Never mind.
And in the top it reads, Where could this be? Clicking on this doorway opens up the green room, and we know it's called that because it was recently featured in a Deltarune development update. And for anyone uncertain, a green room is very much tied into this TV and movie theme. What I predict will be the entire basis of the Chapter 3 Dark World. Now you can click on any of the doors in this room. The door on the left takes us to /Weather that has these two characters, one with a moon face and...
Oh. So, is our next thing like... We're fighting the news? Oh boy, that's gonna be a headache. You can't really fight the news.
And I don't know, one that its head is a cloud, I guess? If you click on either one of them, we are taken to another YTMND style page. The weather always sticks together. So presumably these are two characters we're going to encounter and likely fight, the weather people of this TV network that we end up at. Clicking on the right-hand door takes us to /TV. The top says it's off, with the little asterisk in front as if it were a character saying it in-game. This TV doesn't actually do anything. It appears to be the TV sprite taken from that ending cutscene of Chapter 2. So this entire portion of the secrets are all linking us forward into Chapter 3. And clicking the middle room takes us to the changing room listed as private. When you pull back the curtain, a Shadow Man is there and screams before closing the curtain again.
Wow. So we're gonna have to invade someone's privacy. That's wonderful. And I don't mean that in the most sarcastic way possible.
If you click fast enough, it also takes us to the Shadow Men battle preview. It's unclear what the odds are, but opening this curtain over and over, you have a slight chance of having Lancer appear. Just the shrunk down little chibi version that rotates around and when clicked, takes you to the /Lancer you just got Lancered page. On the Benjamin Franklin cube, the blink takes...
Doing that thing with Lancer and the thing, that was pretty clever. Well done.
Us to /blink. What? It has Susie passed out sleeping. If you click on her, she will open her eyes and blink now and again with a little sound effect playing. In the commemorative ring, potentially it hurts is being singled out, connecting to the way the thorn ring hurts us when we're wearing it. It hurts takes you to Damn You, Tina, and at the top, it requests we delete this. And we obviously don't know who Tina is yet, but I'm guessing that that is short for antenna. It would be like antenna, since this is all connected to TVs here. Hard to know for sure exactly how that's going to tie in. That damn boob tube, you're the one that should be having a refreshing night's sleep in the recycling bin. Everything is his. Everything is his fault. Pay. Everyone is going to pay 5 easy payments of $9.99 until they're all in the disposal area, begging for my everyone except. And tucked at the very bottom, written in hidden black text, Mike. Clicking on the TV takes us to a page of nothing but static with the title, You're Early. Scrolling down does this kind of inverse thing where the static looks like it's moving the other direction, and if we highlight this text, make it a little easier to see, what are you doing here? You shouldn't be here. And towards the very bottom of this
Fair enough.
There are 2...
Fair enough to say that we shouldn't be in there. I mean, probably in secret code lore kind of thing.
Squares that exist outside the rest of the static. Very easy to see if you've highlighted them, easy to miss if you hadn't. One of them also takes us to RAMB, that RAM page. The other takes us to this plain blue page. And at the top, aren't you forgetting something? Interestingly, static can also be referred to as snow, and when we scroll further up this blue page, we start to get snowfall, which again makes me think everything would tie into Noelle and the holiday season and her cold snow-based powers. But we can click on this lone black rectangle, which takes us to Ice Palace Glacier. No,
Ice Palace Glacier?
Glacier. It is spelled slightly incorrectly. I'm reading it that way on purpose.
So, Noelle, like, has her own dimension? Is that what I'm figuring out here?
Makes me feel like David Attenborough.
That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it.
Glacier. We have this banner that
Wow.
alternates between two
Clever.
things, the first of which being an advertisement for Ice-E. Have you seen him? With a couple of them looking a little bit twisted and not quite right. Clicking on the Ice-E
No, I haven't.
one takes us to /Ice-E. Have you seen him? Recent sightings. This sighting comes again courtesy of Noel Holiday. The other night I went down to eat leftover pizza, but when I went down, it was dark and I couldn't find the switch. And I saw Ice-E on the box and he winked at me. I screamed. Only my sister believes me. So this would have been from a little while ago when Des was still around. An update to the sighting. Story update. My sister burned the box in the grass to kill it, and it smelled like charcoal pizza. She burned out Ice-E's
Wow, that sounds really demented. No joke, that sounds super demented.
eyes, and he looked evil. And as he said, took it and said we should bury the box, and Chris dug a hole in the ground in the graveyard, and I was so scared a zombie would come up, and I tried to say, Chris, I'm scared, and they turned around with the box over their face, and I screamed, so Des hit him, and I took it away and threw it away, and I think it's gonna come kill me. For those that enjoy these sightings, be sure to take a look at the ones from her sister. So this is dated back a while. Azzy is around, Chris and Noelle are clearly quite young. She's writing out this big, long running sentence. And if we follow the link to see Des's account of the sightings, we're taken to /December, which is a fake 404 not found page. There isn't anything else hidden here. It's not that it's faked in order.
That's actually some interesting stuff. Does that mean there's something going on in December? An interesting thing to go about.
To hide something, but it's made to look like 90s Internet Explorer. Again, giving us an idea of when this would have taken place canonically. And the same banner that can take us to the Ice-E page actually rotates between two different things. I don't precisely know the timing of this or what causes this to be present on occasion. You are the 1 billionth customer. Click here to claim your prize. Lucky, wow, incredible. But it'll take us to /secret. There are 4x4 closets, 16 total. Only a handful of them have anything behind them. What's behind door number 1, which is taken straight from the old game show Let's Make a Deal, which was hosted by Monty Hall, and is the
That makes sense. That makes sense.
origin of the well-known Monty Hall problem. Most of them will say try again and play a small boo. The second one has a Rousey doll, you won, and repeated aw.
It's not a bad one, to be honest.
The seventh takes us to a Peepus, although it says we have lost. Clicking it takes us back.
Does that mean, like, the game over thing? Where, sorry about hitting the mic. Anyway, is that a thing for, like, mentioning how you died due to Spamton? I think it would be, but,
to the closets. The
it's
12th
a
takes
fact.
us to a gumball machine and claims we won. That
Gumball.
is all there is to it. The 13th also claims we won and takes us to a clip of a Wikipedia page, which appears to be for the old web art installation Superbad, created by Ben Benjamin in 1997.
Bad?
There are weird things to be read into this. I mean, for one, it won a Webby Award in the weird category. The weird route has become very important to Deltarune. Clients ranged from telephone companies to being used in images from Japanese pop culture, both of which play a role in Deltarune. These may seem rather generic, it gets more specific. The site contains a veritable maze of interlinked visual conceptual sub-projects, which is kind of describing the sweepstakes that we are currently clicking around in. Time
Okay.
magazine cited the very randomness of the electronic images offered on the website that lures the viewer deeper and deeper into its playful maze. So nothing
Deeper and
here is
deeper.
linked.
Is that like referencing to darker yet darker? Darker yet darker?
All that literally, but this is clearly
I mean, I could see where it could go from that, but it could be something else. I'm not saying that it's Gaster related, but it could be Gaster related. It's like that gray area that exists to it being connected to Gaster and not being connected to Gaster.
been some form of inspiration for Toby, and with its connection to 1997, he's either just paying homage to this thing that was an inspiration to himself, or there are some deeper connections linking up to Spamton and this larger world in some way. The 15th takes us to Slash Chair, a lone chair in a black space. In the top, but what if it could, and after clicking and getting this weird glitchy effect and sound effect, get darker than dark, which obviously would make us think of dark, darker, yet darker, coming from entry 17 and presumably Gaster in Undertale. And there is a 1 in 20 chance when clicking on this that we will see Spamton's eyes with a different sound effect for a fraction of a second before it sends us back to the main page. It's almost like a little bit of a gasp. Interestingly, if you go to the chair and...
Oh, that's freaky. It's only going like... Bam! We are back. It's crazy.
back, that closet door remains open and you can't interact with anything before refreshing. It'll do it every time regardless if you've clicked the chair or not. That maybe is just a glitch. Now, there doesn't seem to be anything that links you to Slash Des. It's something that people would have just thought to try. Someone inspecting it thinks to themselves, it's a red guitar. It takes us to a page that has this lone guitar. When clicking on this, it plays a song that within the files we can see is called Find Her. Obviously the character is missing, and the song itself is 1 minute and 13 seconds long. If Spamton Neo is defeated by fighting, you are awarded the Puppet Scarf, a scarf made of strange strings for those that abandon healing. Susie says it's creepy, Ralsei's reluctant to use it, and Noelle, to herself, thinks that it feels like guitar strings.
Really? Huh. That's a strange thing to quote. I would say that.
Another link that people seem to have discovered just through trial and error. This is /man. As was pointed out by other people compiling information, there is a font line in the page source code. The same one that Deltarune itself uses, meaning that there could be an intent to eventually add text to this page. Here we have the animated GIF of the lone tree that we find the man behind in Chapter 1, and a similar version in Chapter 2. This is the man who gives us the egg. There is even the flavor text in the top behind the tree. And slightly above on the left-hand side of the tree, there is a narrow thing that can be clicked. However, it doesn't take us anywhere unique. This takes us back to Egg. Part of Noelle's blog I'll cover after, and hopefully I can stop saying that now. I'm actually going to jump ahead to talk about the Spamton Value Network video they made as a finale for this sweepstakes. Ahead of this, they stated very clearly that nothing here is canon, but they still slipped in some fun references that I wanted to quickly fire through. I do suggest you watch that entire video. It is absolute deranged insanity. It takes so much effort to make something look intentionally crappy like this. Why was so much effort put into this fake commercial for a fake product? This isn't even one of the things you can win. Although it's a shame that it managed to be recalled in Canada despite never being released. I was really excited to have my Nutrinose. Someone in the States is gonna have to acquire one and ship it to me through very legal means. The team did a fantastic job. It's so funny and strange and unsettling and cool. I am pretty thrilled that they managed to get a hold of Tony Fox. I didn't think he'd be able to appear.
World famous composer Tony Fox!
Really, really inspiring stuff. So great to hear from him. There's this weird stuff going on where we have Spamton, A Spamton, and B Spamton, and O Spamton. It just seems to be a strange bit they're doing, right up until the very end when things begin to fall apart. And Spamton A Spamton goes calling the real Spamton. Presumably this would be the one we know, Spamton G Spamton. With all the evidence we've been shown of how Peepuses reproduce and multiply, the fact that Spamton refers to them as the boys, there's a chance that these things are all eggs for Spamton to clone himself and reproduce, and this potential implication.
Oh, I hope not. That would be a nightmare. Dealing with an army of Spamton? No thank you. I'm out.
That Spamton might be some hive mind? Maybe that explains why he spews out millions of tiny little Spamtons at us. I'm telling you guys, we never should have let him free. Or look at this messaging in the Spamton candle. Smells like my ass. His ass? Our ass? We are one. Every single one of these prizes has absurd joke descriptions. But that one's just a little bit more unnerving than the rest. We have these—
It is a really unnerving thing to happen, to be honest. Not one that I appreciate like.
person posters flash on screen incredibly briefly, and the two people shown appear to be the ones portraying Spamton A and B Spamton. At least I think that's who these two guys are. It's hard to tell with the purposely grainy, obscured footage and low-quality photos. Is it possible that this hive of Spamtons is capturing people and turning them into more Spamtons? That would kind of defeat the purpose of the Peepus recreation things.
I mean, Spamton is a weird dude. If anything, it could be possible. I just hope it's not. That would be a nightmare.
So it feels like those are competing theories and I don't really know anymore. Again, not canon. This game just gets in my head a little bit. But it all becomes really messy when this video continuously references things that very obviously are canon. So for the sake of just having fun drawing connections, I'm going to attempt to point things like this out without dwelling on them too long or treating them like fact. Right away, I think it's really cool how they managed to get double use out of Channel 2, like old school cable Channel 2 TV when we just had Chapter 2. It almost sets it up in a way like this is—
Oh, now I get it. Now I get the whole screen thing we got at the beginning of the— Okay. Okay, I see where you're going. I'll admit. That was very clever. And now of all the things that came from that thing, that was probably one thing that went way over my head. That I thought of as something normal. But was actually something, yeah. Yeah, it was a reference. I did not see that coming.
Is a prologue or interlude of sorts. Even though it's not canon, it's a fun way to think of it. The month and date were correct, but it's set to 1997. There's a major snow warning at the bottom here for southern counties. I know I'm not supposed to be reading into everything, but it would be interesting if it snowed during the next chapter, and this was just a tiny tease. In the meantime, get your heart ready. It's just supposed to evoke the way that you interact with battles. Our boys in blue would normally mean the police, but today it means Peepus. I'm rather disgusted by the fact that the toilet paper is advertised as used, sorry, and a very high fragrance item. Ugh. In this part of the
Ew.
broadcast, do you know this man? The image of Spamton in the toilet is the same one used for that sighting secret. And the options being deal or no deal make me sound like Howie Mandel, but it's a reference to the way Chris had to choose whether or not to take Spamton's deal. In the Ode to Spamton, he makes direct reference to Jevil.
Not a circus clown. Who's more sick than he's funny.
I think I just put that into the back of my head without even caring about it. Wow. I really need to pay attention to more detail about certain stuff. I think I was more focused on the Spamton stuff than the Jibble stuff.
A lovable salesman who give me free money.
And then draws very obvious attention to the fact that people are clamoring to predict who the secret boss of Chapter 3 might be.
Who will be the secret boss of Adventure No Free?
But this video is not built around revealing anything major like that. So it's just kind of a wink and a nod, and not something they ever address directly. Normally at the end of one of these infomercials, these rectangles would represent the available payment options. Instead, we have something crossed out, what looks to be a pause symbol, a representation of Spamton's face, and a basketball? I think it's just meant to be random, and I totally dig that. Now,
I guess, but maybe it's something else. Maybe it's something we'll find out in Chapter 3. I don't know. Guess we're just gonna have to wait and see.
every time they announced a new prize, there's scrolling text at the bottom, with Spamton narrating things and everything else to be read on screen. It's hard to know where to put your focus, but there's some pretty funny gags and goofy things going on down there. A lot of it is just spam messaging, asking you to buy useless junk and presumably malware. It's right at the time that the acid cup wine glass appears that things at the bottom start getting really, really notably dark. Live high-quality Spamtons. Streaming now. Remember, this may look free, but you'll have to pay. At the end, they all will. Breaking news.
Yeah, I remember that kind of stuff. I just didn't really think of it as ominous. I just figured you still have to pay for it at the end. Like, have to pay for the press of it and all that.
Spamton's still at large. Still at big. And he's only getting bigger. Growing. Feasting. I'm telling you guys, we shouldn't have let him free. It is incredibly fitting that the winner of the corpse was a user going by Metaton, considering that character is a robot, what is essentially a metal corpse occupied by the soul of a ghost monster. Maybe that's a gross way to think of things, but yeah, I'm sticking with it. This is the smallest little throwaway moment.
I think this one's a girl.
They included Miss Peepus in there. Having Spamton leave with a slide whistle is actually a live-action recreation of a moment that you can encounter in-game. The watch is shown to be engraved with Noelle's name, referencing the idea that the silver...
Wait a second. Her last name is Holiday? Huh, Noelle Holiday. That's not a bad name, actually. Mr. and Mrs. Holiday. Not bad.
Watch found in-game was hers. And after the weird route, there's the potential moment where Noelle realizes that Chris somehow has her watch. This is referenced in the audio when presenting that item.
How did this get on there? We can't sell this. It's too much value.
In general, I just love the way that fan gamers Reed will dress up like Asgore during any of these streams or events. It's just a much appreciated nice touch. Chapter 3 is all but guaranteed to be TV themed. We know Spamton has this rivalry with someone known as Mike. It's been heavily theorized that he belongs to this TV world, and Spamton is trying to do his best to position us against him. So mixed in with various other fun and silly songs for Spamton CD, there is the repeated plea to kill the TV, a warning being issued about what's to come in Chapter 3.
Kill your PV, kill your PV, kill.
They tell this entire poem in tandem about destroying a TV and cable cutting, basically. The championship belt is said to have been previously worn by great luminaries such as the Pebble, which is a reference.
That is a strange thing to go on about. So the TV definitely is related to it. So we are going to the news. A dark world that involves a news station. We're going to see Mike, maybe, and all that. But while this information is helpful and all that, it's pretty vague. Like, we don't know what we're gonna face, we don't know how strong the guy's gonna be. We don't know anything like that. Basically, it's information that we already know and can figure out. And it will satisfy us. And sadly enough, I have to agree. Knowing all this, I'm kind of satisfied and waiting for it to happen. Chapter 3. Oh, the mystery you'll bring.
To Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Prepares you to smack downwards is also a reference to the WWE hosted event SmackDown. What happens at SmackDown? You get smacked downwards. I am insanely excited to see a Donkey Kong 64 reference here. It's kind of a fun tribute to think it's like the only other major banana themed meme I can think of. Like, depending what you grew up with or what you're a fan of, when you see a banana in the context of a video game reference, you're either gonna think potassium or ooh, banana. If your brain goes somewhere else instead, you're gonna have to let me know. Now, it's hard to call this a reference. I think, again, it's more of an homage. When Spamton B. Spamton shows up, he's not actually using motion capture at all. This is a style of automated rotoscoping that was made popular by Joel Haver, one of my favorite creators on all of YouTube. I would recommend his animated stuff and live-action skits. He is just absolutely hilarious. But he sort of popularized this style of animation, and he's had a lot of imitators since, and while that doesn't necessarily mean that's what they were trying to recreate here, they may have been rather indirectly or directly inspired by that, so it was really cool to see. The best thing...
Alright, I say right now would be a good thing to pause. Because if you've seen the time estimate, this is almost a 2-hour video. And I'm not going to stay and record for 2 hours for one reaction video. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to do that. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I'll make a part 2 next week. Let me just say I have a surprise for tomorrow. So be prepared for that. Be sure to hit the like button down below. Hit the subscribe button to support the channel, support the content, and all that. Hit the notification button to be notified immediately when a new video comes out. And if you have any videos you want me to react to next as soon as possible, leave it down in the comment section below, and I will react to it as soon as possible. Remember, the link to this video will be down in the description below. Be sure to give some love and support for 2 left thumbs for the videos he makes, such as this one. Other than that, I hope you all enjoy, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!